October 2016 should have been GoPro's next victory lap. Instead, it became the moment everything unraveled. Customers who had just spent $800 on GoPro's brand new Karma drone began uploading disturbing videos. Perfectly normal flights suddenly ended with the drone dropping straight out of the sky. No warning, no error message, just gravity taking over. Within weeks, the truth became undeniable. The drones weren't malfunctioning occasionally, they were fundamentally unsafe. 6 weeks after launch, GoPro issued a total recall. Every single Karma drone sold worldwide had to be returned. For a company whose entire reputation was built on rugged, indestructible gear, this was catastrophic. The product that was supposed to carry GoPro into the future literally couldn't stay airborne. Almost overnight, layoffs began. Nearly 1,000 employees would eventually lose their jobs. Investors panicked. Competitors circled. GoPro's stock collapsed from a high of $86 to under $10. This wasn't just a failed product launch. It was the beginning of one of the most dramatic, self-inflicted corporate collapses in modern tech history. And the most shocking part? GoPro didn't fail because it was weak. It failed because it forgot why it was strong. A garage, a surfboard, and an obsession. Long before GoPro became a billion-dollar company, Nick Woodman was a two-time failure. By the age of 27, he had already burned through $4 million in venture capital with an online gaming startup called Funbug. When the dot-com bubble burst, the company vanished almost overnight. His second attempt, a marketing venture called EmpowerAll, collapsed even faster. To investors, Woodman looked reckless. To friends, he looked finished. Most people in his position would have taken the hint and disappeared into a safe corporate job. Woodman didn't. Instead, he borrowed $235,000 from his parents and left the country. For 6 months, he lived in Australia and Indonesia, spending his days chasing perfect waves and his nights obsessing over the same unsolved problem. He wanted to capture his surfing the way it actually felt from inside the wave. But every camera failed him. Waterproof housings leaked salt water. Mounting systems snapped under pressure. Even expensive professional equipment died after a single bad wipeout. The ocean destroyed everything. That frustration became an obsession. Back in his parents' garage in California in 2002, Woodman started experimenting. His first prototype looked ridiculous. A small 35mm camera duct taped to his wrist using wetsuit scraps and a modified watch strap. It wasn't sleek, it wasn't elegant, but it survived. From Wall Street darling to strategic panic. In June 2014, GoPro went public at $24 per share. Wall Street loved the story. Within months, the stock surged to nearly $100, valuing the company at more than $10 billion. Nick Woodman became the highest-paid CEO in America almost overnight. The former garage inventor was now a tech superstar. On the surface, GoPro looked unstoppable. But inside the company, the mood was very different. By 2015, fear had quietly replaced celebration in executive meetings. One question kept resurfacing, and no one had a good answer. What happens when everyone who wants a GoPro already owns one? Suddenly, the question wasn't whether GoPro was the best action camera. It was whether action cameras were still necessary at all. Wall Street didn't care about brand loyalty or cultural impact. Investors wanted expansion. They wanted new markets. They wanted growth curves that never flattened. Internal projections confirmed the worst fear. Camera revenue alone could not justify a $10 billion valuation. Replacement cycles were too long. New customers were slowing. Standing still meant dying. So GoPro made the most aggressive decision in its history. A move designed not just to grow the company, but to reinvent it entirely. They wouldn't just sell cameras anymore. GoPro would enter the drone market. Karma, the billion-dollar bet. Karma wasn't just a product. It was supposed to transform GoPro from a camera company into a complete adventure ecosystem. Own the camera, own the sky. GoPro poured over $200 million into drone development. They hired 600 new employees, expanding the company by more than 60%. Engineers worked brutal hours trying to master aerodynamics, battery systems, GPS navigation, and stabilization, fields GoPro had no prior expertise in. The risk was enormous. DJI already controlled roughly 70% of the consumer drone market. They had spent years perfecting flight systems while GoPro focused on cameras. But leadership believed the brand alone could carry Karma to success. In September 2016, Karma launched. Initial reviews were lukewarm. The drone flew but lacked obstacle avoidance and advanced features DJI offered at similar prices. Still, loyal customers bought in. Then the videos appeared. Drones dropping into lakes, falling onto hiking trails, crashing near crowds. The problem wasn't software or batteries or GPS, it was worse. A subtle flaw in the gimbal mounting system caused it to disconnect under certain vibrations. When it did, it confused internal sensors and triggered total system failure. Months of testing hadn't caught it. In the real world, Karma became a falling brick. Collapse, competitors, and the cost of forgetting your identity. The recall triggered a corporate freefall. Layoffs began in early 2017. Entire departments vanished. Nearly 1,000 employees lost their jobs. Morale collapsed. Innovation stopped. Revenue plunged. The stock lost 90% of its value in 18 months. Meanwhile, competitors moved in for the kill. DJI launched the Mavic Pro, better, safer, and more advanced than Karma. They captured 85% of the drone market GoPro tried to enter. Then they attacked GoPro's core business with the DJI Action series. Cheaper, better stabilized, and more advanced. Insta360 struck differently, popularizing 360-degree cameras that made traditional action cams feel outdated. Athletes switched sponsors. Creators jumped ship. GoPro's cultural relevance evaporated. By 2019, GoPro's market share had been cut in half. Today, the company is worth a fraction of its peak. Revenue continues to decline. Teenagers barely recognize the brand. Subscriptions and software pivots haven't replaced lost hardware sales. GoPro still exists, but has a shadow of what it was. GoPro didn't fail because it stopped innovating. It failed because it stopped respecting what made it special. Nick Woodman built a $10 billion empire by solving one problem better than anyone else on Earth, making cameras that survived anything. But success bred arrogance. The company believed it could master drones, software, subscriptions, everything except its own identity. The Karma disaster wasn't bad luck, it was inevitable. Because when you try to be everything to everyone, you become nothing to anyone. The most dangerous moment in business isn't failure, it's a success. If stories of billion-dollar collapses like this fascinate you, hit the like button and subscribe to Mr. Capital, because the next empire to fall might be winning right now.